Congress is kicking off their 119th session with a House Speaker vote tomorrow in Washington, D.C. President-elect Trump is backing current House Speaker Mike Johnson, but Republicans are still divided ahead of the vote. Now, Johnson can only afford to lose one vote, and he says he spent the holidays talking to his colleagues to try to secure those.
President-elect Trump writing a letter to the U.S. Supreme Court asking for them to delay their decision on the future of TikTok.
Decision day for TikTok is just about 2 weeks away. On this vote in April, Congress passed a law forcing TikTok's parent company to sell the app by January 19th or face a ban.
If the Supreme Court doesn't stay the lower court decision, the law will go into effect.
Happy New Year to you, man. There's a lot of news going on right now. We have tomorrow the Speaker of the House vote is going to take place. Mike Johnson may be in some trouble. And number two, Trump and the TikTok sale. Man, he's urged the Supreme Court to pause the law. And also there's some investors that want to acquire TikTok. We're going to dive into that, guys. Number three, we're going to analyze both of these topics and look at the leadership lessons that we can learn that you can implement today in 2025. But it's the best year of your life. Let's get in this thing. You see that thing, baby. Let's have fun and let's go.
We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run a whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. We doing a lot. How we got on top. How we got on the top. Network and hustle. Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't much in common. I set a goal for 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Counter Move podcast. Happy New Year to you. Hope you guys had a phenomenal Christmas and a phenomenal New Year as well, guys. This is going to be a good topic. If you're getting value out of visiting with your partner every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m., if you could like and subscribe, hit the little bell at the top, guys, and share. This is going to be a really, really good one, guys. So bring your pens and pads, guys, on this one. It's going to be really good. So let's dive into the first topic, guys. There's been a lot of news going on right now concerning what's going on in our nation. You have the Speaker vote coming, right? And also you have Trump and the TikTok sale, man. We're going to dive into that one really good as well. And we're going to look at each situation, whether it be the speakership vote coming tomorrow, as well as the TikTok sale when it's in front of the Supreme Court right now, and what Trump is asking them to do. And we're going to kind of lean in and see and look at some leadership principles that we can actually glean from that, guys. And I'm going to tell you this right now, everybody that's under the sound of my voice, you have been created to be a leader in some form of fashion, really, and this is really because of the gifting that you have been given. We're going to dive into all of that today. But let's dive into this real quickly, guys, all right? If you can be good. Now, we know what's going on with TikTok. President Trump and the TikTok case and sale. Now, why did I say case and sale? Well, let's walk through what's going on real quickly, and then we'll dive into the content real quickly. If we look at it, TikTok, right, there was a law that was passed by the House and the Senate, as well as signed into law by President Biden, forcing TikTok to either sell or the entire app will be banned completely, right? Now, TikTok at all didn't like that at all, and I understand that, but at the exact same time, TikTok came out really swinging and said, we're going to appeal this. And they did. They appealed it over to the appellate court. The appellate court said, no, we heard it, and we agree with the government. In other words, this law is going to stand, and it goes into effect on January the 19th, guys. That's a day before President Trump is inaugurated as the 47th president. Now, a lot of people did. Of course, the TikTok didn't like that at all, and I understand why, but it's okay. It is what it is. Trump now has now stepped in and said, hey, he actually did I don't know the legal term. I think it's a writ of mandamus or amicus, a brief to the court, something of that statute. If you are an attorney, don't shout me down. It is what it is. And he asked, as a friend of the court, hey, I'm inheriting this. Can the Supreme Court, who has agreed to hear the case, right? Because it was kind of a Hail Mary for ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok. They came out and said, hey, can you hear it? The Supreme Court said, yes, we can. Trump said, hey, I'm inheriting this situation. And the law gives the presidency a broad amount of powers because it falls under national security implications, which is under Homeland Security. That's an executive branch division. And so what Trump is saying is, hey, can you please pause this, right? Because I have some ideas that I would like to do that can actually solve this problem as I'm going to be the president the following day, right? Which is, to me, is not a bad ask. I got to give it to you 1,000. It's not a bad ask. And so what TikTok is saying is they're saying, hey, this is violating the First Amendment, free speech for the users, and the 14th Amendment, which is the right of due process for ByteDance. Do I think this is going to work? Don't know. You can make a legal case for TikTok and for the government. There's a lot of legal eagles that are smarter than me. They're saying that the Supreme Court is going to slap this down because of the fact that both the House and Senate and the executive branch agreed on this bill. But you may say, Dale, that's the case. What about the sale? Well, right, there are a number of investors that are lined up that would like to acquire TikTok. And this, I'm talking about the U.S. base portion of TikTok. So let's listen to these investors real quickly, guys. And then we'll go into the strategy behind why they would do this. I think this is a phenomenal idea, guys. So let's dive into this real quickly, and then we'll kind of look at the strategy thing. Here we go. Let's dive into this thing. Here we go.
Welcome back. The clock is ticking on TikTok. The social media giant has until January 19th to sell its American business or face a nationwide ban. President-elect Donald Trump is urging the Supreme Court to pause the ban and allow some time for a, quote, negotiated solution. One potential solution, enter Frank McCourt, a billionaire entrepreneur who's launched a bid to buy TikTok from ByteDance. He joins us now. It's great to have you on the program, Frank. Thank you so much for being here. So what's it going to take for you to buy TikTok? And the only other person I know who's interested so far comes on this show a lot, Kevin O'Leary.
Yes, he is.
How are you working this?
Listen to him.
Yeah, well, we've put all of our ducks in a line. We're ready to buy the U.S. app, U.S. portion of TikTok.
So now people maybe say, Liddell, one question I got is, Liddell, how can they afford to acquire TikTok? ByteDance's valuation is around like 250. I believe it's $1 billion. Am I right? $250 billion. I may be wrong. I'll look it up in a second. But their valuations is around like 250 million or $250 billion. Well, typically that type of platform would probably sell for a 16 to 20% multiple, right? So just do the math on that, and we'll dive into that in a second. Let's see what we got to say, though.
Assuming that ByteDance sells it, and we're going to know the answer to that very, very quickly because the Supreme Court is hearing their case. It's their Hail Mary pass, which is not going to work, in my opinion. That hearing is on the 10th. And conventional wisdom is that the Supreme Court will rule against ByteDance, supporting our government and our people, because TikTok is a real national security threat. And then ByteDance is left with the option of shutting it down or selling it. And, we're standing by, ready to buy the U.S. TikTok without the algorithm, by the way, which China has said they'll never part with.
Now, that's key, the algorithm, because when it comes to apps, TikTok has probably the most robust algorithm out of all the apps on any app store. Their algorithm is crazy good. And so China is saying through ByteDance, because how China works in China is when you do business in China, the Chinese government has to own a portion or half of your company, right? And China, who is a shareholder in ByteDance, is saying we will not part with our algorithm, right? That is key. Now, watch what this billionaire says about the algorithm. Here we go.
Can you talk to us about that? Because you've said that you're not interested in the algorithm. Kevin O'Leary, someone again that Jackie mentioned that we talked to, he likes the app, frankly, for the algorithm. What is it about the app that you like? X algorithm.
Yeah, well, Kevin and I have had a number of conversations about this, and I really think that Kevin is starting to see the value in buying TikTok without the algorithm.
So again, investors at that level, they do talk because you have partnerships that they're talking about, raising of capital, insurance, because of the fact that they want to ensure that they themselves from a loss, right? So don't be surprised if there's securities involved, insurance companies involved, banks involved. This is a large amount of money that they're talking about. All right, let's keep going.
There will be an algorithm. It just won't be the Chinese algorithm. And it will, the user base will own and control their data and their relationships. So you'll still have the benefit of big data. You'll have the benefit of algorithms, but it won't be a Chinese algorithm, and it won't be one that takes advantage of American citizens. Look, we've seen China hacks now, right? In October, it was the presidential campaigns. November, the telecoms. Last month, we learned about the Treasury Department. We need to protect American people. And TikTok, as it's currently designed, is a national security threat. And so let's move TikTok over to a clean American stack, protect Americans, and keep the platform going so that everybody that's enjoying TikTok can continue to do so.
Well, you mentioned enjoying TikTok, and that's an interesting conversation.
So this investor is saying, okay, I'm willing to pay a high multiple for this company, and even part from its algorithm, which is really coveted, so much so that the Chinese government is saying we don't want to part from it at all. He's willing to say I don't want the algorithm. The reason why is because he believes that he can create the exact same algorithm or even better. All right, that's the only reasoning why he doesn't want that algorithm, because that algorithm that they've created, ByteDance, is crazy good. I mean, my God, it's wonderful.
Too. There's the security threat of where does your data go, but then there's also like the American TikTok gets kids fixated on making NyQuil chicken or something. In China, it doesn't do that, right? So like I'm a parent, some would argue this app is actually destructive in a lot of ways, even apart from where the data goes. Do you envision a new kind of TikTok, maybe one that isn't so, I don't know, trivial or addictive or something else? What's your vision?
Sure.
Yeah, totally different. And you're right. I mean, TikTok is banned in China.
Stop right there.
Think about
that right there, guys. Right now, the existing platform of TikTok is banned in China. Why is that? This is the reasoning why, when it comes to the law itself, I can see why it was drafted in its fashion, because of the fact that TikTok can be presented as some form of national security when it comes to it being banned in the country that's actually backing the company itself that's actually been traded in the US. And I looked it up, guys. The current valuation right now for ByteDance right now is $300 billion, despite the threat of the US TikTok ban. This is off of Yahoo News, right? So if you look at the numbers, right? If you look at the numbers, typically a platform like a ByteDance would sell for a 16 to 20x multiple. That may not happen because of the fact that of this law that is about to go into place. This is the reason why the CEO of ByteDance flew down to Mar-a-Lago after the election, because he understood that when Trump gets in office, he has a broad amount of authority. And I'll give you my strategy of what Trump is in a second, all right, because you see him on the screen. But at the exact same time, I don't see an investor like a Kevin O'Leary or this man talking here would ever pay a 16 to 20x multiple, because of the fact that TikTok, if this deal is not rendered or an LOI of some sort, and or the Supreme Court sides and says we're going to pause the law, as is what Trump has asked them to do, the app's going to be banned. It is. It's a wrap. So as an investor, right, that is a heavy negotiating benefit for someone that wants to acquire said company. I could see maybe a 3x, 4x, or 5x multiple, but I could not see a 16 to 20x multiple. That wouldn't make any sense at all, specifically because, to be honest with you, if this is something that doesn't happen with the Supreme Court or a deal's not met for the 9th of January, and today's the 2nd, which is 7 days away, it's a wrap for TikTok. Not based on what the Dale says, the law says so. It's real simple. Let's keep going, guys. Here we go.
That the U.S. TikTok is not allowed in China because it is addictive. It is manipulative. And it's not just that China has information on 170 million Americans. I mean, that's bad enough. But they're able to manipulate 170 million Americans, many of them young people, as you point out. This is a highly addictive platform.
Now, I would say this here is I can understand what they're saying is this highly, it can be an addictive platform, but so can Facebook and so can Instagram. You better believe Instagram and Facebook, they're storing the same information that TikTok is storing. You better believe that. I understand the play. I'm rocking with the play from a national security standpoint, but don't play dumb. TikTok, Meta with Instagram, as well as WhatsApp, as well as Facebook is doing the exact same thing. Don't get it twisted. The only difference is these are American companies. That's an American company. Google, Alphabet, American company, right? Tesla, American company. Because Tesla, they're storing information as well also. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Tesla's doing the exact same thing. So again, the difference between Tesla and Meta with Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook versus TikTok is Chinese company. Those other companies, Meta and Tesla, are American-made companies. That's the difference. Not a national security risk. It's real simple. It's not hard. Now, you heard what he wanted. Now, let's go to Kevin O'Leary. All right? Kevin O'Leary, he's very interested in actually acquiring TikTok as well. As you heard before, they were talking about Kevin O'Leary want to get part of this. So here's Kevin on Fox Business, right? And they're going to talk about TikTok and about the comments that this investor that we just heard talk about, who actually has the exact same strategy. He wants to acquire TikTok without the algorithm. Here we go. Let's go get it.
I want to get your take on TikTok as well. I think it was really interesting. I spoke with Frank McCourt Jr. yesterday. He seemed to think that his willingness to purchase TikTok was not about the algorithm. I want you to take a listen to what he had to say.
They're going to have to make a decision. And of course, we hope that decision is to divest of the platform. And we understand they're not going to sell the algorithm. Mm-hmm. We don't want or need the algorithm. So I think we're in a pretty unique position.
Are you still interested in TikTok? And if so, what?
See what he said? Unique position. Again, investors, we use words very carefully. Unique position. Unique. How I interpret that is there's no way they're paying 16 to 20x on this. There's no way. You'd be a fool to do that. 3, 4, 5, rocking with you. Let's keep going.
Is it for you?
Yes, I'm very interested in TikTok. And for me, is I know where all the revenue is. Those 7 million small businesses of products and services, guess what? They're all Shark Tankers.
Yes,
the last 2 generations of young entrepreneurs they're basically all the revenue of TikTok. And of all the syndicates, I'm the only one they know. And so to me, this is bringing them into the deal beside me through equity crowdfunding. I know Frank, he's a great guy. We all know each other. We've all been talking to each other. Yes, this syndicate, I don't know what's going to end up, who's going to end up winning this thing.
And you know what? You know who else has been talking to him as well? Donald Trump. Notice I didn't say President Donald Trump. I just said Donald Trump. I didn't use president for a reason. And you're going to see here in a second. Here we go.
but it'll probably be a combination of syndicates. But I'll tell you the thing that we're all waiting for. It's back in the Supreme Court. I believe they're going to rule before the 19th, before the inauguration.
I agree.
And I think it's going to get thrown back to Congress.
Correct.
This company is in a dreamland thinking they can fight this fight saying they're fighting for free speech. It's not about free speech. TikTok can be sold and we maintain the platform. This is Chinese spyware, and we're going to have to get rid of it. That's why the algorithm's not going to be part of the deal.
So if they punt it back to Congress, are you speaking with members of Congress?
So what he's saying is the algorithm itself is a linchpin to the spying capabilities of TikTok. That's what he's alluding to. Right. And that makes some sense from a strategy standpoint. This is the reason why the Chinese government does not want to sell TikTok with the algorithm. There's some value there that the Chinese government actually sees when it comes to the algorithm. Algorithm is great. Hang on. It's awesome. It's awesome. Let's keep it going, though. Here we go.
I don't know. It's up in court, January 10? It's expected to be banned January 19th. So are you talking with members for when those deadlines come?
Yeah.
From Rubio on down. They know who I am, and yes, I've been talking to them. And I know we're going to need the pen of Donald Trump signing this deal. I get it. I've been working on this thing for over a year. My site, I mean, look, everybody's on this thing, but I want to make TikTok wonderful again. So my site is wonderfultiktok.com. If you want to learn more about it and want to invest beside me, I really want those people that are revenue to be an investor with me, because we're going to have a very tumultuous period when we rewrite this algorithm. They're going to have to hang in there. I don't want to turn the lights off on TikTok. I just want to make it wonderful again. And right now, it's dripping with Chinese spyware. We got to get rid of it.
Would you get into a bidding war for TikTok?
Listen, hold on.
No, the syndicates are not going to bid against each other. They're going to figure out what the right combination is. We're not stupid. This thing isn't worth $35 billion. It's probably five to 10 billion worth of cash, and we all know the same guys who are going to fund this thing. And we got to get the American shareholders to roll into the deal. I mean,
wow, hold on. Oh man, this is so good. This is a masterclass. Notice how Yahoo Finance says that that ByteDance TikTok is valued at $300 billion, right? $300 billion. Now watch this. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Kevin is saying there's no way someone's going to pay for that. He's correct. No one's going to stroke a check for $300+ billion. Nobody is. Because what did Kevin say? He said, I know where your cash is at. Oh, see, Kevin understands that without Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, the stroke of his pen, this can't happen at all, right? So that's kind of like a ace in the hole for those negotiating to acquire ByteDance. So he said, we're going to kind of twist the screws on it a little bit, and we ain't gonna give you the 35. Man, please, no 300 billion, no, sir. You probably have $5 to $10 billion in the bank. So you may get a multiple of that, right? Which is a deal and a half for anybody. And notice how Kevin Leary talked about. He's talking about, hey, we want some. We're not going to. It's not going to be a bidding war at all, which makes total sense. He said we're all going to get together, right, and get this thing ironed out 100%. He said the syndicates. Notice the word syndicates, right? Big boys. And then notice what Kevin Leary talked about. He talked about crowdfunding. He wants the average American to jump in this deal with him as well. I see the play, and it's brilliant what Kevin's doing. Brilliant. Don't get it twisted. There will be some big boys in there, but there'll probably be some type of crowdfunding component to this thing to where everybody can own a little piece of TikTok. And there's another person that will probably end up owning some TikTok as well also. Probably a major share of it. That is Donald Trump. Let me say that again with my chest, all right? There's one person that will also probably become some type of ownership in TikTok. Donald Trump. Why? He's going to be the sitting president, and what he says, based on how the law is written out, goes with the sale. He has the biggest pin in the game. The biggest pin. And it just so happens that President Trump, right, also owns his own social media platform called what? Truth Social. Now, Devin Nunes was just named the chairman of the Intelligence Advisory Board for the president. I probably got the name wrong, but who cares? He's the chairman of the advisory board for intelligence for the president. That is a non-paid government position. He's not working in the government at all, so he's going to still be the CEO of Truth Social. You better believe that Truth Social, which I think is a brilliant move, is going to be in the bidding to acquire TikTok. Book it, bank it. Yes, sir. Your boy, President Donald Trump, through his kids, will have an ownership share in TikTok. I'm predicting it right now because there's no way that a sitting president with that much authority on this topic would not have some sort of ownership in this venture. And it just so happens is him and those investors are going to be the smartest people in the room for this specific deal, which is brilliant. Man, I gotta say, man, this right here, this strategy by President Trump, real talk, is spot on. I'm rocking with this 1,000%, man. And anybody that's saying this is not right, man, and you're in Congress, I'm going to say it with my chest, shut your behind up because you are trading stocks while you're sitting in Congress. Shut your butt up. Shut your mouth. If you don't want President Trump to own a part of TikTok, right, you need to go ahead and divest from all your stocks right now. And you won't because you're making hand over fist on trading stock on you are legislating on bills on the very companies that you're acquiring stock in. Shut up. And President Trump, baby, do your damn thing, baby. I ain't rock with. I may invest my damn self while you tripping. This is a tight move to me. Hand clap of praise. This is a I'm about to bounce back. That's a bounce back for President Trump on rock. And anybody else that does this, whether it be Kevin O'Leary, Frank, or crowdfunding, it's gonna be a bounce up. Hey, I'm calling this the year of the level up, baby. It's time to level up. That's gonna be a deal and a half, right? And you better believe every single retirement fund, every single pension fund, all of them are going to invest in this. And President Trump, Kevin O'Leary, and everybody, Elon Musk, they're going to be negotiating the hell out of this because of the fact that President Trump has all the authority in this negotiation. This is going to be the easiest negotiation of his life. The easiest, because he is the arbiter of it all, not based on what I'm saying. Read the law. The law gives unilateral authority to the sitting president of the United States. Hand clap of praise, guys. Hey, man, bounce back. I'm about to bounce back. Yes, sir, man. I'm loving this, man. Hand clap of praise, y'all. That's the strategy. That strategy right there would attract the capital and the right capital. And when that capital is implemented the right way, you're going to have a crazy amount of impact on your 401ks, your IRAs, your 403bs, your pension funds, your annuities, you name it. If they invested in this, it's going to shoot up. You can send me the check in the mail. I just actually gave you guys some game for free. Man, great thing, man. Do you think President Trump? I'm loving this thing, y'all. I'm loving this thing. Hi, my name is Liddell Bugg. Mastering the strategy of locating distressed properties has allowed for me to own about $35 million worth of real estate currently right now. We're talking about new construction, single-family residences, commercial properties, and apartment complex. You name it, I own it. Now, I know you're asking, what does this got to do with you? I'm glad you actually asked. One of the most common questions that I receive when it comes to real estate investing is that they say, Liddell, what is the best strategy I should use when it comes to executing a good investment strategy in real estate? Should I buy and hold? Should I buy and flip? or should I do a rental scenario? My answer to that question is, why not do all three? But the good thing about it is the investor that masters the art of locating distressed properties will know exactly how and what strategy is the most wisest in that situation. That's the key to this whole thing. If you wanted to know how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below or swipe up and download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed, holler at your partner, and download the ebook today. All right, guys, we're back, guys. Man, guys, good one. Now let's dive into something else that's going on, guys. Man, tomorrow, Speaker Johnson is trying to maintain the title of Speaker of the House. His name is Mike Johnson out of Louisiana. He actually was voted in, I believe, a year ago, which is fine. And there's been people that liked him, not liked him, you name it. He has been all in the news. I have to give him some credit. He did maintain the House for the Republican Party. It was projected that the Republican Party would lose the House in the election, and they actually won it, right? They actually won it. So that's really due to a lot of things that Mike Johnson was doing. The problem with Mike Johnson is this here. What got him in trouble? Got Mike Johnson in trouble was his continuing resolution bill. How he did that was just trash, horse manure. But let's dive into this real quickly, guys. Let's dive into what's going on here because of the fact that the vote is tomorrow and Mike Johnson may be in some trouble, y'all. He may be in some big trouble on what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Here we go.
Congress is kicking off their 119th session with a House Speaker vote tomorrow in Washington, D.C. President-elect Trump is backing current House Speaker Mike Johnson, but Republicans are still divided ahead of the vote. Johnson can only afford to lose one vote, and he says he spent the holidays talking to his colleagues to try to secure those.
We have the smallest margin in U.S. history. We'll have a margin of probably 2 votes tomorrow during that, so can only afford to lose 1 or 2. But I think we'll get it done. I really do, Lawrence. I've talked to every single one of those friends and colleagues over the holidays. We'll be talking about process reforms inside the House, and I've encouraged all of them, and I think the reason they're all going to vote yes is this. We're shifting into a brand new paradigm. We have unified government that begins tomorrow. We have the White House, the Senate, and the House, a totally different situation than we dealt with over the last 14 months since I've been Speaker. So we're excited to deliver on the America First agenda.
So Mike Johnson's whole selling play is we're unified. We have the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. Brother, you should have been thinking that way, big dog, when you wrote out this continuing resolution. How you did it was trash, bro. Trash. How you did it, man. So, but let's see what's going on, guys, because there are some Republicans that are not, they're not feeling Mike Johnson at all. Here we go.
ABC News senior reporter Catherine Falders is in West Palm Beach, Florida, along with ABC News Capitol Hill reporter Jay O'Brien for more on this. Jay, House Speaker Mike Johnson was on Fox and Friends today talking about tomorrow's vote, saying they'll get it done. So how does he plan to do that with that small of a margin? He can only lose 1 vote.
Yeah.
Well, as you heard him say there, Diane, he has been working the phones. He's been trying to shore up support amongst further right Republicans who some of them have said they remain skeptical as to Johnson's future leadership. There is one firm no vote at this hour, which is Thomas Massey, who's a spending hawk who has said for weeks now that he is not going to vote for Mike Johnson to be the next Speaker of the House. In our last hour, when you and I spoke, and I'm going to ask the camera to come back to me here because I have a treat for you, Macedo. You asked me to bring a whiteboard. and I did.
You don't know.
So 434 members of the House, because Matt Gaetz expected not to show up tomorrow, which means there are 219 Republicans, 215 Democrats. Matt Gaetz won re-election, remember, but he resigned to be Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, so he's not expected to show up tomorrow. If he does, it changes my whiteboard math, but let's just use the current math. That means, as Johnson said, that he can only afford to lose the one vote. That right now is Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie has said he is a firm no vote, which means if there was another no vote, and this math holds, because why can't this be fun, right? If this math holds, that means that we go to another round of balloting. Because remember, that's the procedure here. If Johnson were to lose on the first vote, which under that current math means he were to get more than one no vote, meaning two upwards no votes, that means you go into another round of balloting and you keep having ballot after ballot until somebody eventually wins. And remember, Diane, it took Kevin McCarthy 15 rounds to be the speaker 2 years ago. Mike Johnson making a point in that Fox and Friends interview that the Republican Party is in a much different place now than Kevin McCarthy's Republican Party was after the 2022 midterms, meaning that they have unified Republican control of government, the White House, both houses of Congress, etc. But it remains to be seen if that's going to be enough to sway some of his critics.
The man not only brings the news, he brings his own props. Catherine, what do you have to counter that?
So I agree with that 1,000%. I love the math that he actually did. This is a very balanced view when it comes to this, to the speaker vote tomorrow. We're going to be watching, right? And I may carry it live. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. It's 434 votes. Members 219 R's, Republicans 215 Democrats. He can only lose one vote. Mike Thomas Massie said what? He said no. So what's the strategy behind this? Because you did hear that President Trump also, what he did was he also, he's actually behind Mike Johnson. He's behind him. So why would President Trump back someone like Mike Johnson now? Well, I'm going to give you the strategy behind this real quickly. I'm going to give you the Republican strategy and the Democrat strategy, right? The Republican strategy, why would Donald Trump, why would he endorse Mike Johnson? Simple. To be honest with you, throughout the campaign, anything that Trump has wanted, Mike Johnson has delivered. Anything. So Mike Johnson has been very vocal and through his actions said that I am firmly behind President Donald Trump and his agenda. That is clear to see. And the one thing Trump does like is loyalty, right? He does like loyalty because of what happened to him in his first term, where so many people did some stuff behind his back, right? So that's why he's actually endorsing them. And when the lion's share of the Republican caucus is behind one person, and get this, guys, there's been no other Republican that's put forth their name as speaker. It's just Mike Johnson, and that is it. You've heard names like Byron Donalds, but Byron Donalds does not want it. Doesn't want it at all. I think Byron Donalds has some aspirations to run for governor of Florida, which I think he'll win easily. He'll win that easily, right? But at the exact same time, Mike Johnson is the only name on the ballot, right? So there's going to be a negotiation between Thomas Massie and the 2 or 3 or 4 other, probably about 3 or 4 other congressmen or congresswomen concerning how they can get their vote. So you may see it fail once or twice. They'll get together and then negotiate. Or if Mike Johnson is smart, he'll do negotiating up front before these multiple votes, right? They're negotiating now, which is good to hear. But what is he willing to give up? Now, why would these congresswomen and congressmen do this? It is simple. Every congresswoman or congressman, they're representatives for a district of constituents, right? For instance, my congressman is Congressman Pat Fallon, right? Pat Fallon, he's my congressman, right? He's over a district in Texas, I live in Texas. So what happens is the constituents should be the chairman of the chair members of the board, right? So I believe every month or every quarter there should be a chairman of the board, a board meeting with all of the chair members to come together and discuss what is best for our district, right? So what's happening is doing these votes like this. This is a good strategy for those congressmen or women to attract the capital, because these guys have to run for reelection every 2 years, and it's really every year because they run for no, it's every 2 years. They govern for a year, and then the next year they actually are running for reelection, right? So what are they doing now? The strategy is to look tough and to be tough, right, for their constituents, to get what they want for their constituents, right, which would then attract more donor capital, right, which they can then impact the district and also impact them as congressmen or congresswomen to get reelected. It's real simple. This is a platform for those that normally don't get on TV. They can get on TV and make their voices heard. Will it work? It has worked in the past. It really has, right? This is the number, guys. We have 434 members. Now all those members are on TV. Now all those members are in the press. They're not. This is a way for them to get out there and to sell themselves. Strategy to attract the capital donors to actually have an impact for them personally, get reelected, and for the district. It's real simple. It is not hard. That is it. Now, how does this benefit Speaker Johnson? Well, if he someone said their sound. Hey, Megan, how you doing? I hear you on Instagram. What do you mean by their sound? Anyways, let me know what you mean by that, Megan. Now, what about Speaker Johnson? Well, if he maintains the power, he maintains power. Do I think he'll win the speakership? Yes, I do. I think he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Yeah, he'll win it. It may take him 3 or 4 or 5 times, but they'll get it. No problem. It is what it is. They'll get it. What that does for him is it shows that he can bring the Republican Party together, gather the votes, and they're going to be very hard on him to make sure that he doesn't roll out these continuing resolutions. Now, why did he do that for the CR, the continuing resolutions, that 1,500 page document? I think, in my opinion, he was just trying to get something out there and get it out of the way so they can focus on Trump. Yeah, I could understand him doing that, but not that way, man. It should be more, hey, let's negotiate, because your big club is Trump coming in as a new president, and the new Congress coming in, and a new Senate coming in. It's not hard. I think he didn't do a really good job at negotiating this thing until Doge put out this, hey, man, here's this bill, this omnibus bill. This is ridiculous. Didn't make any sense. It went down from 1,500 pages down to, I think, 30 pages, 20 pages. What was in the bill? I didn't read it, guys, so I don't know. But he made some adjustments. But we'll see. Now, the Democrats, what are they looking for? The Democrats pride themselves on PR, narrative. They love narratives, and for them, they are lockstep. They have a narrative, and every single member of the House or the Senate, no matter the level, they will walk in lockstep, 1,000%. So their PR is going to be more like, "Hey guys, we're the party of organization. We're all together. Look at us. We have our stuff together." So this may wound the Republican Party a little bit, but not that much at all, because we just saw 15 rounds the last session, and ain't nobody talking about that. So they'll get it done. He'll get it done. But Trump's whole strategy was he didn't want the continuing resolution to bleed into his tenure, because he wanted to focus on his agenda. So they kind of agreed to push it to March. So he had to get this done in March of 2025, which the Republicans will control the House and the Senate executive branch. You better get a deal. You better get a damn deal done. If not, the narrative for the Democrat Party about you guys being organized will be correct. You better get a deal. You better, right? It's not really that damn hard. Sit down and negotiate. You should be able to negotiate that March CR right now. Why did they wait so damn long, guys, to jump on these CRs? Unless that's your plan the whole time. It should take as long as you can to get everything done, right? And BS people and force a last minute vote every single time. You know the CR is coming, but you wait till the last minute. That's what you do for the American people. It is what it is. But guys, that's my two thoughts on this, guys. Real simple. That's my two thoughts on it all, man. I think that each party and individuals have a strategy. That strategy, what happens, it attracts capital via donor capital, and then when that capital has an impact, whether it be positive or negative. Very simple. Real simple at all, guys. Real simple.
Walk me through everything, but let's start from the beginning. How'd you get into this space?
Well, when I was 17 years old, my Uncle Gary, who still lives to this day, introduced me to a concept called passive income.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, Uncle, what's that?"
Yeah.
He said, "Something that you do one time, but you get paid over and over again." I'm like, "Why am I trying to go to college? I want to know how to do that." Gotcha. And so while I was in college, I began to look at business models that generated passive or residual income. One of them was real estate, because everybody and their mama actually had it, from Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all the billionaires actually had real estate in their portfolio. So I began buying real estate while I was in college. The first deal that I did, I made $3,500. And in college, that's a big time. In college, you broke.
For sure.
College.
For sure.
So then I went from $3,500 to $10,000 to $26,000, and now $35 million worth of real estate. For me, business is always about solving someone's problem. Whenever you're buying a real estate transaction, the one thing I look at is, what's the pain point? Why you want to sell for? And typically, I like buying properties below wholesale. I never buy properties at retail. That didn't make sense to me at all, because I'm planning for the worst case scenario. Each and every deal that I actually acquire, I actually take home cash when I actually acquire it. Wow. Every single time.
If you wanted to know how successful real estate investors make money with their acquired real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below or swipe up and download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed, holla at your partner, and download the ebook today. All right, guys, we're back here. We're back here, guys. I have a new thing that I'm doing now at the end of every show. 2024 was hard for a lot of people. It really was. And I get DMs a lot of times. And I'll talk to some people that I know personally, and they're trying to level up, right? Trying to kind of transform their mind. So they're, how can I make 2025 better than 2024? And I said, well, I said, let me kind of think about that and begin to kind of teach this a little bit on my shows a little bit. Now, this is what I call, guys, leading with purpose, timeless leadership lessons for 2025. And I'm going to use the TikTok sale as well as the speakership vote to kind of unpack that a little bit. We went through the legalities and the procedures about it as well. But I want you guys to begin to analyze who is truly leading, right? Leaders lead. Now, I believe that everybody created has been gifted to lead in some area, and it's tied to your purpose or your gifting, right? So the first thing I want to kind of teach you guys is very simple, is you have to begin to learn how to understand what your purpose is. Now, I agree that everybody has the desire to be successful. Matter of fact, you've been designed to be successful. That's how you've been designed. So that's the question: how are people not being successful when it comes to life or business? Well, I believe they're probably reading the wrong manuscript, right? I've learned that in business and life, business and life is really based on patterns, right? Procedures. But there's right procedures and there's wrong procedures, right? So I'm going to give you where you can kind of start at right now, okay? So here is what I want to read to you guys real fast. Here we go. Now, This is Joshua chapter 1. And I'm going to make it bigger for the folk in the back row so we can read it together. And because everybody wants to be successful. And I agree. I think that you should be successful. So let's read Joshua 1:8. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth." That means that law is important. "But you shall meditate on it," that law, "day and night," all the time, "so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written into it," because it's important. Now watch this. "For then you will make your way prosperous." What? "And then you will have success." Let me say the last part. For then you will. It's the volition of the will, right? Guaranteed. Make your way prosperous. And then you will have success. So there's a prosperous and success component tied within this law or this book of the law, right? Or the text of the Bible, right? That's one thing that I kind of see here. So, okay, so let's go back to the text and see what the creator of the manuscript called the Bible actually instructed us to do from the get-go, right? Because it says at the end, then you will make your way prosperous. You will make your way prosperous. And then you will have success. There's a will and making for you to be prosperous, and then you will have success. Simple. It's a volition of the will. The will. Now, let's go over here real fast, guys. Boom. Now, this is Genesis chapter 1, right? Verses 26 and 27. One of my favorite books in the Bible. It says, this is God Yahweh, right? Elohim speaking. This is Elohim speaking. Then Elohim said, "Let us," plural, "make man in our," plural, "image, according to our," plural, "likeness." And here's the key thing, "and let them rule." Why didn't he say himself? Let's read it again. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them," who's them? Man, "rule." Over what? "Over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. Notice there was no mention of him ruling over another human. There's no mention at all. What are you ruling over, Liddell? Simple. Fish of the sea, birds of the sky, cattle, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. There's no human mentioned there. It didn't say other humans. It didn't say other thems, nothing like that. Because why? The assignment for us is to rule or have dominion. So how do you become prosperous? How do you make your way successful? Learning how to have dominion. Dominion is the calling. Leading is the calling. You can only have dominion when you lead. Right? So I believe every person under the sound of my voice has been made to lead. The question will be where? Where's your gifting at? That's a question you have to answer yourself. Now, once you understand now you have the knowledge of, okay, I've been made to be prosperous. I've been made to have success. Okay, why? Because of the fact that I've been called to have dominion, to rule, right? That means to lead. Okay, wait a minute. So how do I begin to ensure that? Because there's some you don't know everything at all. We're not all knowing. We're finite beings. I'm glad you actually asked. Now, guys, let's go over to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. All right, here we go. Real short verse. It says, "The mind of man," the same man that he said, "Let them rule." It's the same man that he said, "Lead." Listen to the words. "The mind of man plans his way." Okay, you got plans. Plans is away. Now watch this. But the Lord, that means the owner, Adonai, directs his steps. Ooh. Read that again real fast. It says, the mind of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Many times, guys, what we do is we will make plans, which is great, but we don't take it back to Adonai, the owner. The Lord, the word Lord just means owner of everything. That's why it says the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. He owns everything. We're just stewards. So the first thing I want you to understand is we have to be okay with being managers or stewards. We own nothing. We own nothing. Why? Our name is not Lord at all. Big L. We're not Adonai. We are man, male and female, them. That's why it says the mind of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his path. What I'm saying, guys, is write down your plans for 2025, right? Write them down. Make sure they're good. Make sure that they, and I'm gonna give you a little something else for you real fast, guys. All right. And I sent this out to my team. These are what they call SMART goals, right? SMART, SMART. S stands for specific. M stands for measurable. A stands for achievable. R stands for relevant. And 5 stands for time bound, right? SMART. Look it up. SMART goals. Look it up. Look it up. Make sure those plans are in the framework of a SMART goals type of framework. It's real simple. Not hard, guys. Right? Not hard. So I would say make your plans, guys, and take them to the Lord. And say, Lord, here are my plans. Father, you said in Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, that I have the power to if I meditate on your word day and night, on this law, your word, right? Then you give me the authority to make my way prosperous and I would have success, right? Because you have called me to be a leader, to have dominion, to rule. So I'm bringing my plans to you. And Lord, direct them. And guys, sit patiently and wait. That doesn't mean don't begin executing on your plan. Do that, but be sensitive to allow for him to say, no, go over here, go over here, go over here, go over here. There's so many transactions, conversations, relationships, right, that I have backed away from because I heard his voice. Why? That's him directing your path. He didn't say don't make a plan. He said many of the plans of a man. But he's the one that can say yes or no. He's the one that they can call detour. I think at times, and I'm guilty of this as well, is we begin to kind of smell ourselves a little bit. And when we have some success, you say, look what I did. Or we tend to have the idol of control as a log in our eye. And then when things don't work out well, then we run to the Lord. I'm guilty of that. What's the first thing that you do when you get up? Do you get up and grab your phone and begin to scroll or think about the next business deal? Or do you take your day to the Lord and say, Lord, have your way. Here are my plans. Right here are my plans that I'm executing today. From direct me today. I submit my life and my mind, my very being, my thoughts, my eyes, my ears, everything under your rulership today so that you can direct my path. And guys, he is batting 1,000 every single time because he's all knowing and we're not. I think it's wise for us to tap into the all knowingness of God, of Christ Jesus, and watch him, as the old folks say, show up and show out. So, leading with purpose, First thing I want you to understand is you have been created to lead. Now, how do you begin to perfect the leadership skills? Simple. Find your purpose. Get crystal clear on your purpose, on your why. Crystal clear. That may mean you getting quiet, reading the text, the Bible, getting alone. Here's one thing you can ask yourself: is this here? You can say, when someone thinks about you, what's one word that they'll say about you? For me, I've been told wisdom or wise and strategy. I love strategy. I don't want to be right. I want to be wise. That's why they say wise or wisdom and strategy. Think about it. Ask someone, hey, when you think about me, what's one word that comes to mind that you can say about me that describes me? And wait for them to say it. And ask them, how'd you come to that conclusion? You'll be amazed what they tell you. I mean, you do people that you trust, of course, people that you trust, right? So that's it, guys. I hope this helps you out. On all of the shows that I do, the Economy Podcast, we're going to have a leadership principle at the end, because we hear a lot about politics. We hear a lot about business and money as well. But how do you take all that information and begin to pull out the wisdom pinpoints and apply it to your life? I hope this helps you out. Well, guys, man, hey, every single Friday, Cliff and I do what we call Real Estate Friday Live, baby. Every Friday we do that, man. It's on all platforms, baby. Here's a little bit of a sneak peek of those. We talk about everything real estate, all things real estate, whether it be commercial, apartment complexes, SFRs, you name it. We're talking about it. It's Cliff and I, man. Here's a little bit of a sneak peek. Here we go. What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
Yes, it's your partner Dale, man, on Real Estate Friday Lives every Friday at 5 p.m. CST. Cliff and I talk about all things real estate. We talk about the current market analysis. We talk about what's happening in the market and the strategy that you can use today to make from $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 on a monthly basis, guys. It's real simple, not hard at all, and it's free. It is free, guys. It is free, guys. Also, guys, I'm always asked this question, hey, Ladale, can you train me in real estate investing? The answer is always yes, right? But I want to do it a little bit different, guys. I am giving away our free ebook. It's called Distressed Property Investing. As you see in the show, you see some commercials of them talking about how you make money when you acquire real estate and not when you sell it. Well, the key to that is understanding how to locate, vet, and structure distressed property investing, right? These type of properties. It's real simple, guys. This is a free book. We don't want anything from you at all, period. My whole thing is if I teach you how to find, vet, as well as structure the deal the right way, we can partner together and I fund the deal for you. Big profit split. I want to take all excuses out of the way for people that want to level up, right? The quickest way for you to level up is to get with the mentor. If that's me, great. If it's not, it's okay. I want to give you the free information. It is completely free, no strings attached at all. Period. No money, no nothing. I want money. I don't want any money from you. I want us to buy deals together. It's real simple, guys. Number two, guys. I'm asked at the exact same time of the deal. I'm not really big in real estate. No worries about it at all. Hey, a good friend of mine, Matt Sapala, did a free video on passive income blueprint, right? For those that are looking for a different vehicle to generate passive income to level up on, guys. Scan this QR code, click on the link below to go to the free video. It is free, no money at all, period. If you cannot, either scan or click on the link below, guys. No worry about it at all. DM me the word passive income and we get the link out to you, no problem. Again, it's free. It is 100% free, guys. And kind of a news flash, Your boy Matt Sapala, my partner, did a case study on your partner, man. I'm in the video, y'all, but it's all good, man. And then lastly, guys, we got our merch coming in, baby. We got it. We call it I Got That Bag University merch. Hey, I got a fresh new delivery coming in next week of some merch, man. Yo, we're gonna probably end up having a drawing for free merch or free gift card, guys. I keep you posted on that as well, man. If you want to, guys, click on the link below, or you can scan on this QR code to get your bag merch. We always say, show us your diploma, and your diploma is your check, baby. That is, baby. So, guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. I hope I added some value to you today, man. I kind of really enjoyed teaching those leadership principles. The quickest way for you to begin to have timeless leaderships in 2025 is to learn leadership skills, personal development. That is the fastest way. I queried so many business titans. They said the exact same thing. But guys, thanks so much for your time. God bless you. Hope I added some value to you. I ended every single time, guys. Before you leave, and while you can, baby, you see that thing, take the picture for your mom and them. Holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you next time, guys. Peace.
Long live the king.